I woke up not too long ago. It's it's almost 6 o'clock. Woke up about 30 minutes ago, and my usual routine is check my emails and really start to get my life back on track. I guess you could say. Um, Checking to replies to resumes I've sent out over the past day or two, and in general, just trying to get myself up to speed. And one of the things that, I check Twitter because screw it, why not? It's not like I have a lot of notifications, but I still do it. And, one of the things I see is that Logan Paul put up a video from Aokigahara Forest at the base of Mount Fuji in Japan that probably has the most suicides going on, people hanging themselves all the time in there. To the point that I think that every year volunteers go in to cut down the bodies, and but I saw the reaction from a lot of people of him putting it up there, and I haven't watched the video, and I'm not going to, but from what I've heard, it was a person who had committed suicide that day. The lividity had settled, everything was purple. And I'm sitting here like reading all the outrage because it's fake outrage. A lot of this is fake outrage, as a lot of this stuff is. People aren't really upset about it. I think they're more upset that they didn't get there first, that they didn't get to show it. I think that's what a lot of the outrage is about. And there's people doing videos on getting help. That's what this is going to be. Get help. I spent the last 9 years since I got off of active duty helping people. I've worked with the VA up north and the VA where I live, to the point that my personal number is actually on record with them, that if somebody calls the suicide hotline or calls the local hospital, they'll contact me, and say, hey, we got somebody, can you talk to them? And I'll be like, sure. This stems from my own experiences. When I was junior enlisted, when I was a lance corporal, I hit rock bottom over in Okinawa. And I spent a week in inpatient treatment because I had hit a point in my life where depression, isolation, and stress had just gotten to that peak. And I responded negatively to it. I'd never dealt with something like this, but whatever. That's what I did. And for a lot of troops won't get help because they are afraid that it will ruin their career in the military. As I said, I did that when I was a lance corporal. Look at me now. I mean, don't look at me now. I haven't shaved. That's usually one of the things I do before I do any videos. I shave because I hate stubble. I look disgusting. I know I do. But a lot of troops are not willing to do it because they are afraid that it will negatively impact them. It won't. It won't. Your career doesn't matter if the depression becomes so overwhelming, the PTSD becomes so overwhelming that you take your own life. My experiences, they shaped me. In a way. They did. They shaped me. And they'll shape you as well. It's a question of how do you respond to it. We're not all perfect. If you see somebody saying that they want to take their own life, don't treat it as a joke. Because, yeah, I'd say a good majority of the time that someone says on Facebook, I'm going to end it all and whatnot, is just a plea for attention. You don't want that one time you thought it was just a plea for attention to be the real thing. Don't take it as a joke. I've got the scar from a bullet wound. When I helped somebody who was going to take their own life, and I was one of the first people there. And I'm talking him down because I don't want him to kill himself, especially in front of me. I don't need that trauma. And terrible thing to say, but it's true. That was what was going through my mind. And somebody outside the door yelled, "Do it, you pussy." And as soon as they said that, I saw the arm moving with the gun. And the only thing I could do was grab his arm, put the gun against my shoulder, and his reaction was to pull the trigger. I don't know why. And let me tell you, that hurts. That hurts. I'm at that point bleeding. He's terrified because he just shot me. And my response was, okay, I've been shot. Go out there and start one arm beating the little shit that said that, because I am now really upset. Really upset. But the truth of the matter is that that's a rarity. That's so rare as to be almost non-existent. The point of the matter is that do not take this lightly. Whether you're a civilian or you're a member of the military. The military, we talk about 22 veterans committing suicide a day. I don't think that number's right. But it's become, I don't want to say a meme, but it's become almost like a statistical fact, I guess you could say, that we just say it without even thinking. I'm going to put in the description of this video the American Suicide Prevention Hotline. I'll put the Veterans Administration Suicide Hotline, and I will link to a charity that I am familiar with, that I work-ish. Because getting help is not the end of the world. And maybe it's a societal issue that we don't really care, I guess you could say. And I care. But it's time people actually started thinking of themselves, in a way. And getting help is important. Forget the stigma with it, because you're not weak for getting help. Taking care of yourself is important. You don't want your family to go through you taking your own life, your friends going through that. You just don't. Get help. Because the only people who are going to look out for you are you. And you have the best intentions for yourself. Keep that in mind.